Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, today I'm in Amsterdam, walking around the city centre, and I will describe for you what I've been seeing. Right now, I'm sitting inside a bar, which is very typical. They have a kind of patio style thing outside where they have tables on the pavement as well as on a little area which is sealed off. I'm not actually sure what it's called, but I can tell you that it's very, very nice. Let me just have a look. Here we are. Cafe Kalkhoven. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm just enjoying a nice Coca-Cola. So, just to describe what I'm seeing then, looking out the window to my left, I can see what looks like a very old church, which is completely closed. I don't think it is a church. I think it's an old municipal building of some kind. There's traffic whizzing by on the opposite side of the road from what I'm used to. And inside the bar, to my right, there's traditional-looking tables and chairs. It's not modern. It has very old photographs and artwork around. Bricks on the wall, old lantern-style lights as well. And, of course, I'm hearing the Dutch language everywhere. This obviously is a strong tourist district, and so far today I visited a few places to have a cup of coffee. I'm not going to call them coffee shops because in the Netherlands coffee shop has a very different meaning. So just a place to have a coffee, like a cafe bar. That's where I've been today. I think the definition of coffee shop in the Netherlands is actually a place where you would be smoking some kind of substance. But that is legal here in some places. So I've been visiting cafe bars and enjoying coffees and Coca-Cola. What else can I tell you? Yes, surprised at the number of different accents, tourists and languages that I'm hearing and seeing. Everyone here, of course, does speak English, but Dutch is predominantly spoken. And it's a lovely language. The accent is very similar to what I'm used to hearing in southwest Scotland. The big thing here, of course, is the canals. There's many canals and lots of trips that you can take to show you them. I'll be in Amsterdam for the next few days, and then I'll be heading south to Eindhoven. Today I also visited an old church, which is called Westerkerk. And the reason why I liked it there is because it's where the Queen Mother of the Netherlands, as Queen Beatrix, was married with her husband. Religion really doesn't play a part in the Netherlands' daily life anymore. And in fact, that church, in part, is being converted into some kinds of gymnasium. It has exercise materials all over the place, but it also has a big historic organ, and it has some kind of bookshop and spiritual presence. It's just like a quiet place, but not so quiet, I'm sure, when they're having their exercise. It looks to me like they're finding good use for all of these empty churches by converting them in part into places of exercise, places of art, or cafe bars. And you can find those everywhere around here. The metro system was very interesting. All of the announcements were only in Dutch. There was a little bit of confusion for me when I found that the metro system and the train station were within the same building. So I was able to separate those in order to buy cheaper tickets. The metro system itself is very, very good, and certainly very bright. And then there's also the trams as well, which go around the city. That was a little bit more unusual because I bought a ticket which lasts for 2 days, which I can use in all of the public transport. The trams were a bit more difficult. I had to bleep on and off, and there were actually customer service counters inside the trams, which was really strange for me. So there wasn't actually someone walking up and down checking the tickets. They had little offices on the trams, and they only let you on at the office. They watch you getting on and watching you bleeping in. So that was very different for me, because usually they have inspectors or people you can buy tickets from, but in this case they had women sitting there who were just there to ensure that you had a ticket, but they didn't approach you, you had to approach them. So very nice. Yes, I'm just looking out the window. There's a tram line next to me. There's a very busy tram here, lots of people on it. It's heading up to, I think, what's called Palastraat, where the house of Anne Frank is. That's another big attraction here, if you like history. So tram's going both ways. A little bit confusing if you don't really know where you're going. So you have to make sure you have the right tickets, and you have to make sure that you know at least a little bit where you're going. The one thing I did notice here is that on my mobile telephone, the Google Maps app did not work so well. It didn't seem to be able to pick up where I was going very well. I think in parts this was simply because I'm roaming in a different country. So, you know, when you roam in a different country, it always is a little bit more unstable. I mean, it connects me, but it gave me completely the wrong directions and information for where I wanted to go. So that was a little bit surprising. But it's been wonderful to hear the Dutch language again. And they still have these large broadsheet newspapers. That's the ones which are very, very big, as opposed to the little ones. In the UK, we call those tabloid newspapers. So here they still have the big ones, the broadsheets. They're a little bit more official, a little bit more formal, and a little bit more reliable. Whereas in the UK now, they've all been shrunk down to tabloids, which is a great pity. So I'll be picking up a few of those to take back with me. Nice to have a Dutch presence again. Looking at the menu here in this pub, I can see that the menu, at least the wine menu, is called Wijnkaart. Okay, and there's also ontbijt and lunch. Ontbijt presumably is a Dutch word for breakfast. I don't know, but very nice, very nice. And not really very expensive for the Eurozone, like a croissant or a croissant, if you prefer, will cost you around £2.80. If you want that with a meal, it'll cost you around 9 or 10 euros. Whereas if you go to the centre, right where the train station is, one croissant will cost you around 10 euros anyway. So the further outside of the centre you get, the cheaper it gets, it seems. And that's it from me, my first day in the Netherlands. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Lots of people walking around. The weather's been lovely. I kind of sense it to be rather unforgiving on a wet day because it's very, very open. And yes, so I hope you've enjoyed this. And let's talk again soon. See you. Bye.